How to achieve this spinning effect. Alright, your first step is to find what you want to animate. Right here I have a beautiful drawing that I'm going to animate. Perfect circles and everything. It doesn't have to be perfect, this is just something I drew up for the demonstration. So I just drew this up on a piece of computer paper and scanned it in. You could do the same thing or just take a photo of it. That's another way to get this in if you don't have a scanner. So today I'm going to teach you how to color this and make it flip. So we're going to be using two free programs today to make that happen. The first one is GIMP, which is free and open source. And then DaVinci Resolve is the second one, which is free. It is not open source, which seems really powerful. I would recommend it for starting out. And they do have a paid version that's even better, but I haven't tried that yet. So go ahead and open GIMP. Alright, go ahead and open the image in GIMP that you want to flip. So now that you've opened up your image, the first thing you want to do is go to Layer. So you right click on the background, Layer, Transparency, Add Alpha Channel. That just makes it so when you delete stuff it doesn't fill in the background color, it fills in an empty layer instead. So then you can use, right now I have the rectangle select tool. You can use this to delete backgrounds. You can use the eraser tool to delete backgrounds. Make sure that you don't have anything selected though. So just click outside of the selection box, because if you have something selected, it'll only work in that box. Within the selection. So you just to unselect the area, just click anywhere and don't drag. So then you could also erase around this manually using the eraser tool, or you could cheat and use the fuzzy select tool, which I have set to a threshold of 33. I think at 15 and it was the start. The threshold just determines how far from the original color it'll stray. So you can see these dots here that it didn't quite select. That just means I need to turn my threshold up some. And see, now it's at 255. It'll select all the white and near whites inside the image. Then we can just go around and clean up the stuff I missed. And it's always a good idea to just do this to make sure that you got everything. So I just delete everything around the image. And there we have just the image I want to rotate and flip. So we can go ahead and use that fuzzy select tool again. Click on the middle where I want it to be. Make sure you have, so you might play around with the threshold a little bit. Go ahead and turn it down to 28. And then you can use Shift to also add sections. So if you click on one area and then want to also highlight a different area, just click Shift and then left click. So let's make that blue, light blue, kind of like our current logo. Then right click, edit, fill with foreground color. And you can click here, change the background color to yellow or something. I like more of a pastel. You can also zoom in just by using the zoom tool here, which if you hit Control it'll do the opposite, or I'm guessing on Mac it would be the Mac key. So we want to zoom in, so I'm just hitting Control and clicking. So we can fill in the B here. using shift to also select here. You can do them one by one also. Edit, fill with foreground color, and let's make this area orange. Good enough. And that should be it with GIMP. We'll save it or export it. So you go to File, Export As, and then I'm going to name it I'm going to name it to go to DaVinci. Then this is the folder I want. Just make sure you know where you export it to. And you can change the file type down here. So I'm choosing PNG because it maintains transparency. You can do JPEG too. There are a couple other options. We're going to keep it on PNG though. Export. I'm just going to leave everything default. Alright, and you're done with GIMP. So go ahead and open up DaVinci. Alright, new project. We'll call it Flip. So then go ahead and find the image. So I have it pulled up here to go to DaVinci. And this is just the default DaVinci screen right here. Just drag it into this media pool here. And then you can drag this into the timeline. Alright, so to make it flip, you just go to Fusion. Alright, right click on Media in 1. This is your nodes. If you work with Blender at all, you'll kind of know what nodes are probably. I don't want to get too much into what nodes are right now. They can be kind of complex, but we're just going to start easy. Right click on Media in 1. Insert Tool, 3D. And then Image Plane 3D. Alright, then from there you're also going to want to insert another tool, 3D. Renderer 3D. Alright, so you can go ahead and click on the Image Plane 3D 1. Go to Transform. And then right here, you can select where your keyframe is. Just slide that to the very beginning. You might also want to right click here, View On, then Left View. And you'll see it's in a 3D space. So you can see right here, it looked like my render 3D was the one connected to media out. You want to make sure that this is connected right here. So I would just drag both these up from being lying on top of that. And then connect it. Cool. And then re-click Image Plane 3D 1 again. Now these are keyframes right here. I set a keyframe. So we're just going to make sure it's Y. Yep. So we want it to spin like this. So that's Y in the negative direction. And I'm not sure if it's 24 frames a second or 30 frames a second right now. There's a way to change that, I'm sure, but we're just gonna... So for right now, we're just gonna keyframe with this set at the very beginning. The Y-axis. And then you can skip to Let's say we want it to be about a second, and go to about 25, and then we want this to be negative 360. And then it should automatically set a keyframe for you. And you can preview it with the space bar. See how it's trying to spin there? Once you render it, it'll spin smoother. It's trying to do a bunch of processing power all at once to make the live preview. So now you have it spinning. You could make it twice as long, have it spin to whatever 360 times 2 is, to have it flip twice. But we're going to go ahead and go back to media. Sorry, I think it was cut we started on. I just made a background for this real quick in GIMP. You can use whatever background you want. And I'm just adding it to the timeline. Make sure that this guy's on top. If I can make that happen. So to see where to trim your video, I just went to edit, and we'll scroll until it's completely, in place. And then feel free to go ahead and just cut down to there. There we go. Now you're ready to export it. Go to deliver. Alright, format. We're gonna do MP4, H.264. This background image is HD, so I'm just gonna leave it HD. Here's the frame rate. I did 25 frames for a second, but 24 should be fine. Add to render queue. And then choose where you want to save it. Alright, once you've chosen where you want to save it, just go ahead and hit save. Render all. Alright, then you can view it.